Abraham and Sarah. They waited 25 years for the birth of their son Isaac. That's a long time. I believe Abraham was 75 years old, right? And then he actually got his son. They were birthed with their son when he was 100 years old. You have stories like Noah, who waited 120 years before the flood came, right? Just working on that ark, man. I don't know how that might have looked like, but waiting 120 years for that flood to come. You have stories of those that waited about 15 years, like David, before becoming king of Israel, right? I believe Joseph waited about 13 years before being set free and appointed to the throne. You have stories like Moses, who waited 40 years until God called him to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. These are long years, right? I'm 35 years old. Miguel, you're a young buck. You're 27 years old. But 40 years, I'm getting close to 40 by the grace of God. But man, waiting 40 years, that's a long time, right? So you have stories also of those that don't really give us a time frame in the sense of like a number per se, but like Daniel, who waited, for the Lord many years, many months, right? With prayer and ashes and sackcloth, right? You have the story of Job, who waited during suffering, right? Joshua, who waited before meeting the Lord in the tent, right? You have stories like Hannah, who waited a number of years, I believe it was, for the birth of her son Samuel, but crying out to God, like perseverant prayers, persistent prayers, consistent prayers for the birth of her son Samuel. And again, such honest and genuine and sincere and pure prayers where she said, Lord, if you bless him with this son, I give him right back to you, right? You have the story of those that waited for romance. Many of you guys are waiting for your beloved Boaz or your Ruth or your Rachel, like Jacob. He waited 14 years for his beloved Rachel. Again, he waited 7 years, got tricked by his father-in-law, was given the sister of Rachel. Again, the Bible says that he took his sister, her sister, as his wife, but he still waited another 7 years for his beloved Rachel, right? But the Bible says that for him it was just like waiting like a day, like it was nothing for him. Again, you have stories of those like Mary, who waited 33 years before seeing the birth of her son Jesus actually becoming Messiah, coming to pass, where he actually died and paid for the sins of all the world, of all humanity. And then you have the story of Jesus himself, who waited 30 years before starting his ministry. And so if that is you today, you're in good company. Just know that you're not alone. You may feel lonely, but you're never alone. God is always with us. God is always with you. It's who he is. He is Emmanuel.